Welcome to the second meeting for what's now called the Redmond Sunset Project. I'm Chad Lorenz, Principal at Herbal Architecture, presenting with Aya Ranukaran. Also, we will be addressing issues that were discussed in the previous meeting held on February 18th. Here's a look at the building currently. The first comment that we want to address was the fin colors, and we're showing you the original elevations, which showed a very vibrant gradient of the sunrise, sunset colors. We've gone back and tried to do a more accurate representation of what those colors would look like. This is the northwest corner. The details are what we're perceiving as a brick metal frame around the windows and painting only the inside of the frame itself. So the exterior of the frame would be painted sort of a more neutral gray color. So it reduces sort of the overall visibility of the color itself. So this is showing the southwest corner of the building. You see the tones are muted. The west elevation, the northwest, and finally the east elevation. So again, very toned down. One of the board members actually requested that we look at a wood option to the fins, just because it's in keeping with sort of the overall material palette that we have on the base. We tried this, and I think what we realized in the rendering was it's very understated, and perhaps even if you didn't really look closely, that you would actually even notice that it was. So we feel fairly strongly that we can tone down the vibrancy of the colors and continue with sort of the concept of the sunsets theme.
And another comment made by the DRB in our last meeting was that the landscape plaza felt a little bit under-designed, such as with site restrictions such as the traffic light at the corner of the intersection, as well as the 10-foot utility and pedestrian easement along the north property line and the north portion of the west property line. The retail plaza is meant to enliven the pedestrian experience and enhance the building corner at the ground level. We felt that this design intent was better expressed in an aerial perspective. As you can see here, we have linear planters and a pattern of low ground cover, as well as differed colored paving that extends from the building edge out towards the street to create the form of the plaza. And differing heights in the plants and planters are utilized to increase visual interest, as well as provide a buffer between the sidewalk and the plaza itself. Low ground cover up against the building that follows the geometry of the pavers provides a buffer between the plaza itself and then the building, while allowing the large storefronts to be expressed fully. We have stone benches that are placed in line with the path of travel and light bollards which will illuminate the plaza in the later hours.
The third DRB comment was related to the east and south elevations. I'm going to start with the east first. The east elevation, this is the original proposed, the comment was that it was potentially the weakest of the four. So we've got a few options. The first option involves creating a frame around the center section of balconies just to break up the overall linearness of and repetitiveness of the balconies themselves. The second option is to reduce that frame so it mimics the amenity space on the west side, creating kind of this dueling sort of boxes. And the last is to eliminate a section of balconies and just create a additional bay breaking up the facade. With this scheme or option, we must replace these balconies somewhere else, which brings me to the south elevation. And the comment was the potential to add some balconies on the south side. We think it could be a good idea. This is what it would look like, particular units. However, I think one concern that we have is that in the event that the south vacant lot gets developed, these would end up sort of in a canyon between two buildings. They could potentially put balconies as well. So I think our preference is to pick one of the other two options that doesn't require balconies on the south side and keep the consistency of the vocabulary that we have established for the rest of the building.
And finally, the DRB noted the desire to see some perspective views of the service areas in our project, of which we have two. The first is at the southwest corner of the building next to our generator room, and the other one is at the northeast corner of our building next to our parking driveway. As you can see here on the left, this is a shot taken from the sidewalk at the southwest corner of the site. The exterior wall of our generator room is board form concrete, and the louvers that are providing the exhaust for our garage as well as the exhaust and intake for our generator room are going to be finished in a contrasting color, black to match other black metal elements along the ground level facade. They will also be placed in alignment with horizontally and vertically with other elements along the street level, such as the recessed egress here and other score lines in the concrete. We also have the landscaped buffer at the building edge. At the northeast corner, near our parking entry garage, we have a pad-mounted transformer which is inside of an enclosure of welded wire mesh that will be finished to match the black of our garage door. We worked with the transportation engineer with the city of Redmond as well as our planner Naomi to ensure that this enclosure provided adequate screening as well as transparency because it does encroach into the rather large sight distance triangles at our parking driveway, hence the use of welded wire mesh. We also have some landscaping that will provide screening for our trash staging area. And with that, I leave you with a desk rendering of a Redmond Sunset building. Thank you for your time.